Why did the US betray Britain and France during the Suez Crisis? In 1956, Britain and France, once dominant global powers, launched a military invasion of Egypt to regain control of the Suez Canal. But instead of supporting them, the United States turned against its closest allies, forcing them into a humiliating retreat. Why did Washington make this shocking decision? The Suez Crisis, a high-stakes gamble. By the 1950s, European empires were crumbling. Egypt's leader, Gamal Abdel Nasser, embodied this shift. Determined to reclaim full sovereignty, he nationalized the Suez Canal, stripping Britain and France of their control over the vital trade route. Furious, Britain and France secretly plotted with Israel. The plan: Israel would invade first, then Britain and France would intervene as peacekeepers, but their real goal was to retake the canal. On the 29th of October, 1956, Israel invaded Egypt, quickly seizing key territory. Britain and France followed, sending warships and paratroopers. For a moment, it looked like the plan had worked. Western forces dominated the battlefield, but then everything fell apart. Why did the US abandon its allies? Instead of backing Britain and France, President Eisenhower publicly condemned the invasion and threatened brutal economic sanctions. The two former superpowers had no choice but to withdraw in disgrace. But why did the US betray them? 1. Britain broke its promise. Before the invasion, the US had explicitly warned Britain not to act unilaterally. When they did, Eisenhower saw it as a direct betrayal. 2. Fear of Soviet intervention. The Cold War was at its peak. If Britain and France escalated the war, the Soviet Union could step in, possibly igniting World War I-II. 3. Keeping the Arab world on America's side. The US feared that if Britain and France occupied Egypt, Nasser would become a hero, pushing Arab nations toward the Soviets instead of the West. 4. Moral hypocrisy. Just weeks earlier, the US had condemned the Soviet invasion of Hungary. Supporting Britain and France now would destroy America's credibility on the world stage. The end of an empire. Under US pressure, Britain and France had to retreat. Their failure signaled the end of their era as global superpowers. From that moment forward, it was Washington, not London or Paris, that called the shots in the Western world. The Suez Crisis wasn't just a military blunder, it was a turning point in history. The US had made its choice. Even old friendships came second to global strategy. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn off notifications so you don't miss a new interesting video. Thanks for watching.